and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who in 1998 arrived 3 hours early to an Armageddon screening because he didn't want to miss a thing. It's Chris Kelly.
Hello, everybody.
You didn't want to close your eyes.
I didn't want to fall asleep.
Yeah, because you would miss Armageddon. Now, I have to say, while watching the movie, you were chewing on animal crackers. So 13, 14-year-old Chris Kelly was eating animal crackers the entire Armageddon screening. So during the animal cracker scene, all I could hear was you chewing because we were in the same theater. We didn't know each other yet, but I just knew that there was someone out there chewing animal crackers, and it was you.
That explains the soda that hit me. Up yours, Kelly?
How do you know my name?
How do you know that? I got Sprite in my eyes now.
Yeah, I was 16. Are you saying I drank Sprite?
You don't like Sprite? Remember those commercials? Grant Hill would drink Sprite?
I don't see a
That's
point.
the reason why I drink Sprite, is because of this commercial.
Really?
Grant, yeah, it's because it always stuck in my head.
Grant Hill's great. I just see no point to Sprite, right?
I don't think, oh, that's rough. No, that's the only soda that I like.
Does it quench your thirst?
No soda.
Does it give you caffeine?
No.
So it's just sort of a nice, tasty fresco beverage. Beverage.
You want a
fresco?
Fresca?
Yeah.
Well, how come those haven't made a comeback? Fresca?
They just got pushed out of the market.
What were those flavored? I don't understand.
Just ginger ale, right?
No, Fresca. What was Fresca? It was kind of like a grapefruit soda.
Was it?
Was it?
I think there's variations of Fresca. Next podcast. That's Fresca drinking in movies.
What about like during Christmas time, whenever everybody has like a cranberry flavor? You're like, what am I drinking?
Oh yeah, everything's cranberry flavor.
Cranberry mixed berry, and you're like, what? Like, what kind of Sprite is this?
To be fair, I saw the cranberry Sprite, and I almost thought about trying it, but I didn't do it.
I did have it.
Was it all right?
No, it was all right.
I like a good cranberry.
Whenever I think I was seeing, oh gosh, what was
Let's
that?
Go to IKEA.
Do you have anything? Can you imagine that going to
lingonberry and Sprite?
I would like some lingonberry and raisins, please.
Yep. Just like put a meatball in that soda.
They now have vegan options. Did you see that?
No. Yeah. Give me a lingonberry meatball and Sprite beverage. Why are you talking like that? And someone just hands it to you. You just stick your hand out and bloop.
I would like to have very oddly shaped ice cubes, please.
Yep, and cups that you have to put together.
I don't like their ice cube trays either. It's just really strange.
You don't like their ice
cubes trays that they sell? They're like, I think they're like 99 cents. You can buy hearts, and then you can make little like shapes.
They look like Sweden.
Well, it explains everything.
Sweden.
What was it when we were in downtown Atlanta? When I did a commercial. And they had a Swedish flag up, and the people that was was their first time in Atlanta, and they said, "Why is there a Swedish flag?" I'm like, "Well, there's IKEA," and they were like, "Huh." That was it. I mean,
it's also the Swedish embassy,
downtown Atlanta.
Yeah, and IKEA, right? I'm a quarter Swedish, so that means every year I have to go to the local IKEA and I have to renew my furniture making license.
I have to get 2 more Allen wrenches.
They put a clock up on the wall. They get me loaded up on lingonberry juice, right? So I'm like stuffed to the gills of lingonberry juice. They give me that little metal twisty thing and a couple screws, and I got to put it together at a table in 6 minutes.
And see if you want to buy anything.
While Ace of Base plays on in the background. Yeah, when Ace of Base comes on, I'll listen to it.
Yeah, they're a band that like whenever they come on, I guess you would call it like a Tool tune. That's what Adam Carolla would say, I guess. And when they come on, you don't turn it off, but you'd want to make sure no one else knows that you're listening to it. So if you're at a red light, you roll the windows up.
Yeah, and like, you blast it. You kind of
like Fox on the Run comes on. You're like, hell yeah, I love this song. And then but you don't want other people to know that you like it.
Oh.
So you're okay. You're okay with listening to it, but you'll turn your put your windows up.
I learned the song in Swedish, so I can sing the Swedish lyrics with the song. So when cars pull up to me and I saw the sign, and so when people come up to me. And I'm singing in Swedish, like, this guy's for real.
Yeah, he's no joke. Look at his beard.
That's right. I have roller skates on. No, he's Dutch. That's Austin Powers' gold member. Why is he Dutch? Michael Caine hates him.
I love Michael Caine. Where is
intolerance of other people's cultures and the Dutch. I'm 3/4 Dutch.
I watched a Michael Caine movie the other day. Oh, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
That's a good one.
That's a great movie.
It's a very good movie.
He's like, you are the student. Knowledge is your payment.
Have you heard I've been doing my accent.
I have.
She was only 16.
You have to understand, Mark.
Yeah.
Is that if she was only 16.
Yeah.
There's no way she could have done it. He has like
Hey.
he sounds like he's like tearing up every time he talks. It's just kind of he has kind of like a light. It's a heavy British accent. He has a Cockney accent, and then he makes it lighter, so it sounds almost like more appealing.
I just can't do it.
It's a little bit of crying at every time he says something. It's just like,
Master Wayne.
you understand this, Master Wayne. I will
Sandwich.
see you in France, and I'll nod at you, and I'll know it's you.
And no nod back.
Yeah.
Bane.
And they show that scene at the end.
And he rips off his face and he's Bane the whole time.
You thought it was me.
You know how hard it is to pull off a Michael Caine accent? With this mask on? I've been making you sandwiches for 6 years!
I wanted to comment about how you looked a little bit ripped.
Wait, so you've been making me sandwiches for 6 years, Bane? Yes!
Yes, that was me all along.
What was your plan? Good question.
Shut up and die.
Wait, now?
Like now, why don't you just lace it with arsenic?
What about when we were cliff climbing?
We were cliff climbing. Yeah, that's
and
right.
You could have unscrewed my carabiner. Well, I needed a partner to climb with.
How was I going to get down?
Yeah. What about skydiving tandemly? I was fun. I've grown to like you, Batman.
What about that time we were playing Russian roulette?
Yeah.
We were reenacting that scene from The Deer Hunter.
Yeah.
We just
I should have put 6 bullets in.
I didn't think they were going to be blanks.
You're not a very good criminal mastermind, are you, Bane? Nope.
I'm not the mastermind. I'm the muscle.
Yeah, he was too. Then
Was he the mastermind and the muscle?
No, he was the muscle.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, he was good muscle.
Yeah,
he knows how to break backs.
Yeah. I just had to bust a lot of people out of jail once.
Yeah,
Good guy.
I mean, he knows logistics.
He's no joke.
If you need an engineer, you hire Bane. He does good work.
Or Pauly Shore.
Oh, dude.
As we've listened to your podcast.
You liked that, didn't you?
I did. I love that. Whenever I was listening, I was like, oh my gosh, I totally thought that for years. Well, not really. But
impressive feat.
Yeah, right?
I'm going to write an article about it.
Same thing with son-in-law. After he's fixed the family. Like, well, I guess it's back to...
Yep. He fixes the family.
He fixes, and then he leaves. And that's it.
And we just talked about this on our... Sorry to interrupt you. We just talked about this on our... We had a we talked about Airborne, the 93 movie.
Oh.
And we talked about the rollerblading crew. And he ripped off the sides of the seeds and roller skates down the hill and loads all the corn into the cow's troughs.
Yeah.
Guy's smart.
That's pretty smart.
And he's the RA in a very busy dorm where everyone seems to really get along.
Yeah.
Right? They party, but everyone seems to have each other's backs. There's no theft. People are trustworthy.
A lot of people going in and out of people's dorm rooms, and there's like no one saying, oh my gosh, my cologne was stolen.
He's created a very welcoming atmosphere. And he's looked at as a weasel.
He's like 60 now, isn't he? Or is he in his late 50s, I want to say?
All right, let's say he was 27 in the 90s. So 20 years ago, 47, maybe 50, 52.
50s, yeah. Or okay,
68,
early to
40. Who knows math? 12.
I saw a movie with him that I'm sure no one else saw, but it was called Whiskey Business.
Oh, where he's the mob?
The mob boss's son, and it's like, he's 50. I think at this point, like, they should probably graduate from that.
Yeah.
I remember that movie, and it was just like, why? What?
Yeah, he's just throwing them in the same bits.
Yeah, ugh. And his mom actually recently just passed away.
Oh, she was a comedy legend.
She was, yeah. Mitzi Shore, she was huge.
Legend.
Oh, yeah, because of the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
They talk about her a lot on various different podcasts.
Yeah, Adam Carolla and all that.
Adam Carolla, Mark Barron, Joe Coy, everybody talks about her. Yeah, she was huge.
Huge.
In the comedy circuit.
All right. Speaking of comedy, Sleepy Hollow.
Speaking of movies that made me laugh.
I got to tell you something. I saw this in 99, didn't really appreciate it. I was 17, I liked it.
Cool.
But now that I watch it now, so I taught a production design class this past semester, and one of my students, I told them, some of my students, they had to cover this movie because it won an Oscar for production design.
I did, Rick Hendricks.
Yeah, this is a beautifully designed film. 75% shot on stage, but I think this is some of the best stage work I've ever seen in my life.
I was really impressed because I remember seeing this movie and thinking that it was probably, I thought that most of it was probably shot on location, but I mean, they did a phenomenal job, especially the scene. Did you listen to the commentary at all?
Oh yeah, I listened to the commentary.
Incredibly boring, but
he says some funny things like, I like sheep.
It reminded me a lot of, Kazumoto's, what's his name?
Which
I
one's
cannot
that?
remember. Not the son, not the one who did Mandy, but the one who did Cobra.
Oh, yeah.
I listened to the Cobra commentary, and it's like nothing for like 10 minutes, and all of a sudden he just like goes,
there's the gun.
He's like, I like gummies and the Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
They are perfect snacking for watching a movie. I'm like, what? That's it reminded me a lot of Tim Burton because he didn't really drop much. He dropped somewhat, but I mean, not a lot of information. It's definitely, but then again, how do you top anyone like such as Robert Rodriguez? You can't.
Yeah, just motor mouthing Kevin Smith, stuff like that.
There's no way you could do it, but
he dropped some bits though. He's like, I like sheep.
Yeah.
And then he also said Martin Landau looks good in a wig. And then
not many people look good in wigs. He could do it.
And then one of the actors, I think he said, Jeffrey Jones, he's like, just let the wig act.
Yeah. And he talks about it. He said like he has nightmares about it, and he's like, it's just a wig, and that's all you can see in that movie. And it is. I mean, that one stands out to me, anyways. And
I've been very excited to bring this up. So the first podcast you and I ever did was Strangers Pray at Night, right?
Yes.
So in that movie, we talked about the Tube of Death.
Yeah,
a lot.
There's an incredible amount of Tube of Death in this movie, and I didn't notice it until. I guess Tim Burton points it out in the commentary that the whole town is really, really heavy in fog, but it's because that way they could make the depth of the movie. Specifically, the scene with the tree. Whenever Johnny Depp, and they do that upshot at Johnny Depp axing down.
Squishy noises.
Yeah. But he had to mask because they had to shoot that on stage. They had to mask all the stuff in the ceiling. So it's like, how do you do that unless you establish the fact that this place is already heavily smoked? Because you would literally have to reconstruct this thing in real life. I mean, on location to then reshoot it. It would be a lot more difficult as opposed to just having it on stage. So they just make everything smoky. And then that way, when they do that upshot, it's just smoke or fog, whatever. And that way everybody can look at that and just say, oh, yeah, that's just regular part of it. Because otherwise you'd be looking at the ceiling and all the lights.
And they were in Leavesden Studios. I don't know if you read this, but it was a converted airplane factory.
Yeah, I swear he said in the commentary they used to be a Rolls-Royce factory.
Yeah, so maybe like a Rolls-Royce or airplane, but whatever it was, the ceiling wasn't high enough.
Oh, God,
and
yeah.
I read that presented problems because of its low ceilings. This was less of an issue for Star Wars Episode 1 because it was all digital. But let's see, in which the height was generally achieved by digital means. Our visual choices get channeled in violent, Heinrichs elaborated, so you end up with liabilities that you tend to exploit as virtues. When you got a certain ceiling height and you're dealing with painted backings, you need to push atmosphere and diffusion. That was particularly the case in several exteriors that were built on sound stages. We would mitigate the disadvantages by hiding lights with teasers and smoke.
Yeah.
So they
really had to I mean, for a movie that was $100 million budget, I'd say that, I mean, they spent the majority of it on the fog.
It's all on screen.
Oh yeah. Everything's there. And it's
That's what I love.
I mean, you could really tell that they put a lot of money into that.
So this movie,
they could have easily just digitally taken it out, but then again, it would have looked a little hokey, kind of like, I mean, at the time, 1999, whenever, the witch, she looks kind of hokey, I guess you would say. Also, whenever the Headless Horseman puts the skull on his head, you can tell.
I didn't like that skull. That was the biggest false note, that CGI, right?
Yeah, that was. But at the time, you know what I mean. It's kind of like if you looked at 13 Ghosts now.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a fun movie, but it's like as far as the CGI goes, not so much.
I liked. I mean, this movie is a who's who. Sorry, I was just looking at my notes here, but you had Emmanuel Lubezki, who's won 3 Oscars. He's done The Revenant.
Yeah, he was nominated for this.
Yeah, Gravity, Tree of Life, which is beautiful. He's worked with Malick. He did New World, which is one of my favorite movies. Little Princess, very beautiful looking film. So you have one of the best cinematographers on the planet. Before he was one of the best cinematographers on the planet.
I mean, he was still pretty well known.
Yeah.
I mean, he was nominated for an Oscar before that.
Oh yeah, Little Princess.
Exactly. So, I mean, that probably gave him a good, not like a good chunk, but a rather hefty chunk of money to make this movie look good. So
I guess he was a star. Now he's a superstar. Would you say?
Oh, above and beyond. I mean, he wasn't well known then, but he's definitely well known now. I don't think you can mention that name without somebody saying, oh shit, yeah, that's the guy that did Gravity here.
Or if they don't watch movies, they'll just be like, bless you. Bless you. And then also Peter Young did this. He was the prop art director who worked for the production designer Rick Heinrichs, but he also did Batman and Prince of Thieves.
I noticed
this guy.
He used a lot. Tim Burton used